Welcome back everyone for another malware test review. If you are maybe in the market of buying Dr. Web, and if you are wondering if it's any better than your Windows 11 Defender, then this test will be for you. Okay, so we have Dr. Web on the left. Okay, so this is the latest Dr. Web Security Space 12. It's going to need to unlock it. Okay, so files and network, all these modules here are enabled. We'll go to SPD Guard. Okay, go to under advanced. Okay, so riskware is ignored, it's recommended, but for the test we are not going to ignore it. We're going to say move to quarantine. Okay, we'll leave that one disabled. The rest of the advanced options is enabled. Okay, and block auto runs. Okay, so that's enabled. We'll look at our real-time gate shield. Okay, we left these two off. They're off by default, so we'll leave them off as well. Okay, so that's about it. Okay, we'll look at the firewall. So allow connections for trusted applications. Mail protection we're not gonna check. Preventative as our ransomware protection. Default action is block. Behavior analysis. Set to medium, and then we get also paranoid, but we're leaving it on medium for this test. Okay, exploit prevention, prevent unauthorized code from being executed, so that's the option selected. Okay, antivirus network is just if you have more devices, then you can link them all here. Okay, so under the normal settings, okay, that's about it for general. Notifications, share notifications, update every 3 minutes. Self-protection is enabled. Dr. Web Cloud is enabled. Antivirus network, we're not going to use remote control. And that's about it for Dr. Web. So on the right we've got Windows Defender. We did not edit Windows 11 with the Windows configuration tool. This is purely the way that as a normal user can set it up, so no tweaks, no nothing. Okay, core isolation is enabled, so memory integrity has been enabled. Repetition based, everything here is enabled. We can enable PUPs. Smart screen is enabled. Okay, so now we've enabled that. Firewall is enabled. Okay, let's look at our settings. Real-time shield, cloud delivery, file submission, tamper protection is enabled. Ransomware controlled access is enabled as well. So that's the same here, so that's been enabled, and that's about it for Windows Defender. Not much that you can change more with the GUI. So as I've mentioned, we're not using the tool for this test. Later on we'll use the configuration tool to see if we can get a little bit more juice out of Defender, but for now we are just using it as per normal. Okay, we're gonna quickly extract the malware. For samples, we've got 1652 samples for today. Amongst these samples are also the latest Purple Fox. Some of you might know where it uses Telegram to install and sideload a malicious Trojan dropper, which then talks to the CNC server to download all the files that it needs. A couple of zip and RAR files that it needs for the exfiltration, So amongst these new malware, we have the latest purple fox as well. I'm going to quickly extract all the malware, disable the protection, and then we will continue the test. Okay guys, so everything is now been extracted and I think we're ready. So we have 1643, 1642. Okay, so we've got maybe one malware less. That's fine. I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, so for those who have wondered, this is the latest version of Windows 11. So 376, according to my knowledge, this is the latest version. But all updates have been done. So we're going to quickly just check for Windows Defender updates. And then we're going to make sure that Dr.Web is also up to date. Okay, so Defender is fully up to date. I'm going to enable the protection. Okay, so as you guys can see, everything is still enabled. Just enabling all the protection quickly for Dr.Web. Okay, doing it nice and slow to make sure everything is enabled. And yeah, so now files and networking is enabled, preventative is enabled, and yeah, I would say that's about it. Let's lock the settings again. Okay, so Dr.Web is happy, Windows Defender, real-time protection, cloud delivery is on, and it's green. We're good to go. I think let's start this test, guys. Let's see who's gonna do better. Okay, so Windows Defender is giving us our first pop-up, so that's good. I haven't seen any pop-ups from Dr.Web as of yet. Okay, there we go. Firewall, we can block this. Okay, so we've got one malware running in memory. Looks like it's starting to block malware. Okay guys, let's continue this test and I'll let you guys know once it's done. Okay guys, and we are back. So I think I'm gonna stop the test for Windows Defender. We have multiple ransomware infections. Also, what's strange is the left and right click buttons have swapped around. So for me to left click, I have to use the right click button. That's completely swapped around. I'm just gonna try and get this script of mine closed because it's now executing malware that's not valid anymore. Okay, I'm just gonna close that. You guys might have noticed that the background was a red wallpaper for a little bit, but it somehow went back to the test wallpaper. So I'm just gonna close all of this. Okay, so here's our notification about the ransomware infection. Okay, so obviously something is still trying to execute. As you guys can see, extensions have changed and the files are no longer usable. I think the only two second opinion scanners that will be able to do are these two. Dr.Web is still busy executing malware. It is really slow as well. We've got quite a bit of things open here. You guys will notice quite a bit of things running, and it's open, so quite a bit. The machine is a bit rather slow as well. Okay, I'm just gonna wait for this to finish, and then I'm gonna close everything, restart Defender, and start the scan. Hopefully Dr.Web is not too far behind, but obviously I'm just prematurely stopping the test for Defender, and then I'll let you guys know. Okay guys, so just to point out that automatic file submission and cloud delivery protection was disabled. So I'm assuming some of the malware that actually did execute was trying to disable Windows Defender, or then just to at least weaken it so that it's less effective. So left and right buttons are still swapped around. Obviously I'm just enabling these two settings again. So at least now cloud delivery and file submission is now on. Tamper protection is still on. Okay, seems like it's on again. So I'm gonna do a quick update, and then I'm gonna start the full scan, and then I'll let you guys know. Okay guys, so I think I'm gonna call the test for Dr.Web / Dr. Dre. I think I'm gonna stop this test. It's taking extremely long for malware to execute. I know it is still executing, but I can't see my script. It's just still showing in the taskbar, but I just cannot see it at this point, and it's like executing one malware every couple of minutes. But as you guys can see, you can most probably see why that is. There's a bunch of things still running here in memory. Okay, so I'm gonna stop this test, and then you guys would see that I'm doing an offline scan for Defender. The full scan kind of aborted, as it mentioned that some of the files were skipped. It stopped. Quick scan was stuck. So I'm just doing an offline scan. So once it's up and running again, I'm going to try and do a full scan. And it seems like I'm being disconnected from the Dr.Web VM again. This is the second time. So okay, I'm just going to wait for this VM to respond again. It might take some time, guys. And then as soon as it's responding, and I can actually connect to it again, we'll close all the malware, do a restart, and start a full scan if we can. Okay guys, so we are finally done with all the third-party opinion scans. So let's quickly have a look at all the results. Okay, so for Dr.Web on the left, we obviously have one registry key, malware on the desktop, registry key, malware, app data, directly in the other folders here as well. MSI soft emergency kit, obviously something there was modified or added. Under app data again, malware on the desktop. Okay, desktop, and then on the C drive. So yeah, so there are quite a bit of malware outside of our normal test folder, so it's not looking too good at this point. Let's look at Windows 7. So our left and right click buttons are still swapped around. So directly on the C drive, new folder that was created, but it says it doesn't exist anymore, so it might have been deleted. So registry key, more registry keys. Okay, let's have Lexi. Okay, under Windows, app data, C drive again. So definitely not looking good for Windows Defender, but obviously we already know that it is not good. We have ransomware infection. Yeah, so definitely not good results for either of them, but maybe a tad better for Dr.Web at least. Okay, so let's look at Norton. It's been a while since Norton has given us this many results. It's normally just 1, 2, or maybe 3. So app data as well. Also this, that might be the Telegram one for the Purple Fox. I wonder if that's maybe not related to that. And here as well. Okay, so not looking good either according to Norton. And let's quickly look at MSIsoft. Okay, so again it's finding in its own. So here we've got program files, remote manipulator, so it even installs it as that name under the folder, so that's quite interesting. Remote manipulator, system host, another library file, app data, desktop. Okay, so here we've got a couple of scheduled tasks. On the public we've got a VB script. So these are the persistent, more fileless type of malware that creates these tasks. And then we've got one registry key as well. Seems to be persistent as well. Okay, so not looking good either for Dr.Web. Now let's look at Malwarebytes. Obviously all the other scanners were encrypted on the Windows 11, thus only the two scanners at least. Standby location. Okay, so we've got 214 results for Dr.Web, so obviously that same one again. That's a backdoor according to Malwarebytes. Program files, more program files. So a couple of things that are installed here as well. That's that same remote manipulator that MSIsoft also picked up. App data, bunch of stuff on the app data, shortcuts, exes. Okay, so this is malware still on the desktop. Okay, and according to Malwarebytes, we've got quite a bit of registry keys as well, and obviously scheduled tasks. So here's a couple of registry keys. So yeah, definitely not looking good. For Windows Defender, I forgot to right click. Okay, so documents and settings, and then directly under the C drive, this folder is created as ml0jf. Obviously explorer.exe, but that's definitely not the correct explorer. Okay, so quite a bit under that folder. Okay, program files again, same for Dr.Web. Remote manipulator, so it's on this machine as well. Recovery, C recovery, yeah, that's definitely not legitimate. RDP, so it's something that wants to connect most probably to this machine. App data, let's quickly just go through it. System 32, quite a bit of, wow, it's been a while since I've seen this many registry entries. It just keeps on going and going and going. Ouch, yeah, no wonder we can see the symptoms. So this is a lot of registry key, guys. I think this is the most so far. And then we obviously have a couple of scheduled tasks here somewhere again. Wow, we're still on registry. Okay, here we go. Okay, scheduled tasks. Runtime broker. Yeah, definitely not looking good for Defender. Obviously, let's close all of this. Close results, yes. Okay, so then we obviously still have our ransomware notification that we need to pay in Bitcoins. I'll just close that. We obviously have our lovely little background. And as you guys can see, taskbar is also a bit broken. Okay, let's quickly look at our startup items. Okay, so we've got quite a bit of startup items here. This is the same one I think that was on the Kaspersky and the Komodo machine. The 361, it looks familiar. Yeah, that's extremely bad. So let's start up here. Not looking much better, but definitely better. But yeah, there's just way too much items starting up here. While we wait for Process Explorer, let's maybe just check Dr.Web's files. Okay, let's look at downloads, nothing there. Documents, at least our document seems to be intact, no ransomware infection, so that's at least good. And our picture seems good. Okay, interesting. So at least no ransomware infection, so that's good. On the just scraping the surface, it doesn't seem like there is. Let's quickly look at see what's running. Okay, so we obviously have this one, the remote manipulator that's running, also part of the remote manipulator. So obviously someone can have access to this machine from the outside, which is always scary. This one is running on the app data. So yeah, quite a bit of malware that is definitely persistent, so not good at all. Let's look at Windows Defender. Okay, so already here at the top we have malware, system apps. Okay, system 32. Okay, so it's still scanning these files. Okay, so Trojan cryptload. So this is the only vendor that's labeling it as malware, so I just think it's a false positive. None of these other vendors have rated it. You'll see sometimes in Process Explorer that there's like a 1 out of 72 or something. It's a very low chance that it's actually a correct verdict. Also, some of these vendors that 2 or 3 of them have rated as malware, the others haven't, is because they're purely AI or machine learning, and you cannot rely just on AI and machine learning, unfortunately. It's very prone for false positives, and that's sometimes the problem with all these next gen products, is they rely too heavily on AI or machine learning, and yeah, it's just not foolproof as of yet. Okay, so these files are scanning, but we'll continue. We're not going to wait for it. Okay, so then we obviously have this one, under app data, Mork, maybe something of Lord of the Rings. Remote manipulator. It says there's no verdict to it, but that's really strange. Could be a legitimate program that's being used for malware. Not going to investigate it too much. Click to run. Okay, let's continue. Sorry, this machine is a bit laggy. Okay, let's have a look, see here. Okay, Microsoft real time. So it shows it's verified by Microsoft, but obviously it's been modified, so definitely cannot trust that. This Explorer has definitely been modified. Okay, so as you guys can see, quite a bit of things are running. I'm not going to let you go through all of them. I think it's obvious. Let's quickly look at our documents here. Okay, downloads is infected, documents are infected, and our pictures are infected as well. So all our data is gone. Okay guys, so I think this test is now concluded. I think it's pretty obvious what the results are. Dr.Web, I unfortunately cannot give this product a pass. So the cons for Dr.Web, I would say, is there's just too many startup items, too many registry keys. The system has definitely been compromised. No way in hell that I'll trust this product and then just clean it. This is definitely a BFR. Pros at least is there's at least no ransomware infection. You can just copy your data, keep it safe, reinstall the machine, and maybe just scan all your pictures and files with maybe another vendor, just to make sure that those pictures are also not altered with any embedded shell code or something like that. But you can just scan your data, make sure it's clean, reinstall the machine, and then maybe install another antivirus product, but definitely not Defender. So Dr.Web definitely did better than Windows Defender, but not by that much at least. I can't think of any pros for Windows 11 Defender, unfortunately. I think it's just all cons. At this point, way too much registry keys. We've got multiple ransomware infection by different ransomware. Your data is lost, this machine is broken, taskbar doesn't look right, machine is slow. You have to restart Explorer after the machine rebooted just to get it working a bit. Yeah, so you guys can make your own conclusion. Let me know what you guys thought about this test. If there's any products you guys want us to test again, but unfortunately I cannot recommend either of these two products. I will most probably only be able to recommend them if you're an extremely low internet user and maybe just someone that plays games or watch movies, or like your chances or your attack vectors are extremely small and narrow. But if you are someone that has a high chance of getting infected or hacked, I cannot recommend these products, unfortunately. There are much better other products out there on the market, even free versions. So yeah, so let us know what you guys thought about this test. If it was informative and you guys learned something from it, let us know. More tests to come. We'll do some recordings again. And then, yeah, until next time, I'll see you guys again.